Welcome everyone to episode 93 of Box News. I'm back with a sports game this time, EA Sports UFC. They're bringing you the latest UFC game as THQ went bankrupt, and now EA is taking over the franchise. Funny story about that. I'm sure you could look up the history. UFC and EA didn't originally want to work together. There were some complications, but look that one up. That's really interesting. I don't have a lot of time today. So, UFC. I love MMA. I love the sport of mixed martial arts. It is entertaining, always fun to watch, always such an adrenaline rush. Just as a spectator, I can only imagine what it would be like to be a fighter in there. Give you a rundown on some history of the game. So, EA is known for making sports games. Are they always good? No. Are they always bad? No. This one, unfortunately, was not their best outing as far as the sports game goes. Visually, amazing. EA never ceases to amaze me with their visuals. Always visually good, for the most part. So, EA, from a first look, very impressive. It's something that is really engaging and you want to play. You're very interested in. But as far as the game mechanics itself, that's where it begins to fall apart. And why I was initially worried with this, because they were the ones that developed Fight Night Champion, I did not like that game at all. You saw my review on that. I did a review a couple years ago on that one. I didn't like it, and I was very apprehensive about this game. And my skepticism was pretty much spot on with how I thought the game would turn out. So, overall, I was not impressed with the game, and now I'm going to dive into my reasoning why this was a lackluster game. And now here is my final thoughts on this. Alright, so I'm going to have to give EA Sports UFC a final grade of 6 out of 10, and my reasons why. Basically, the game can be summed up into 3 separate categories. You have your matchmaking, which is your online stuff, and you just basically fight people online. There isn't much depth as far as season modes go, and franchising, and camps or training or anything like that, so they definitely stepped it back. The other reason is you can do just basic exhibition matches, so play your friends like an arcade fighter, which is fun and all, but it gets boring rather quickly. And with a lackluster roster, you run out of unique matchups. Will they be releasing more, fighters later? Probably. But out of the gate, it's not that big as far as roster goes. You're missing a good chunk of talent, including a recently crowned champion, TJ Dillashaw, who didn't even make the cut of the game. And lastly, you have basic career mode, which allows you to do 3 training sessions and then fight. You don't get to select much other than that. You don't get to choose your fights. The only thing I found unique in that is you progress from the Ultimate Fighter tournament onto your career. And if you take significant damage throughout your career, you then be forced to retire, which is very similar to a real fighter. So the lack of depth in that is very big part of why this game is receiving a 6 out of 10. There's just not much to it. While it's pretty to look at, the controls become clunky, the frame rate drops, and other problems occur. If they patch this game, it's great. Until then, you get a 6 out of 10.